Hey, how's you going, boys? Mike here, welcome back to Grampie's workshop. I'm out here in the shop and I'm trying to figure out the best location for the exhaust fan for the heat / condensation management control problems that I'm having here in the shop. I was going to put it up near the ceiling, but I had a lot of comments on my introductory video to this about maybe that's not the best place. Put it down maybe right at floor level. So I thought about that, and I thought, well, as the air warms up, that's when the humidity and moisture goes into the air. So that warm air is going to go to the top. So if I'm drawing air off the bottom, it's probably not going to be all that humid. Plus, I don't have a really good spot to locate it at the floor level. So what I've decided to do is going to compromise. I'm going to mount it about bench height. And I'm thinking I'm going to try and mount it right there. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to try and mount it right there. By the way, here's my fan. What do you think of that? Pretty fancy, eh? I can't have these vanes, when they open up, protrude into the shed because there's just too much stuff going on in there. What I'm thinking is I'm going to make a frame out of 2x4, set that frame of 2x4 up against these studs, and then the vanes will then open up into this cavity. Of course, I'll cut this wood out of here. So, all that said, what I'm up to now is I'm going to make a 2x4 frame to go around my exhaust fan, and that frame needs to have pieces that are 16 5/8 long. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces 16 5/8 and make a frame and see if it'll fit around my exhaust fan. Alright, what I want to do is measure these 4 pieces and cut them and have them all the exact same lengths. I measured over 16 5/8 and I've installed a stop block, so now I can just cut 4 pieces and make those repeated. So this is old 2x4, so I'm going to just drill pilot holes in each end just to make sure, because I don't want to split it. Funny, eh? You cut everything square and true, and it still won't come out square. Oh, she's pretty close. Now let's see if the fan will fit. The idea is that this is going to go in here. Something like that. I put some pieces of aspenite to make on these studs here to make them both the same thickness so that I can mount my fan frame right in here. Now the problem I'm having is the space between these 2 studs is narrower than the width of these vanes. And as you see, the vanes stick out past the frame, about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to have to shave a little bit off the studs in order for those vanes to open fully. I think I'm going to clear just on this side, and this piece that's on there is just on with brads, so I can pop that off. There we go. I put a couple of marks out here when I had the vane up. So there's a mark here, and there's one up here. And what I need to do is cut about 1/4, 3/8 of an inch back on this stud, and back about 2.5 inches, and that'll give plenty of room for my vanes to move. And I think I'm going to just take it all out of this stud here. Alright, so I marked out my space here that I have to cut out. And I'm going to start it with the chisel, and we'll see how we make out. This is a lot to do with the chisel, but we'll see. Especially when your chisel is not sharp. Well, I'm picking at it here with the chisel, and I tell you what, it ain't going too good. So I have a trim saw. I'm going to try that. Not sure how this will work either, but let's give her a go. So it's coming. I have to say it's a slow job, but what I'm doing is I'm cutting pretty well the full depth all around the block with the trim saw, or what I did on the bottom one. And then I'll just take my chisel alright, knock out the big part, and then I come back and clean up the little slivers that are left. So that's going pretty quick. I think a couple more like that and I should be done. Okay, so now we take the fan unit and it's going to mount in here. Something like that. And then these vanes should be able to open all the way now. And they can. So that's good. So now I'm cutting some 2x4 to go horizontally in that stud cavity. So I want to put them in with pocket screws. So I have the pocket jig set up here. And then a couple of pocket holes like that with some screws holds it in there really good. Okay, now because I have 1/2 inch aconite on this part, I need to make a little 1/2 inch frame to go around here, and this is going to be tricky here because that's only 3/8, so I'll have to, you know, come up with something there. But so this piece is going to go here. I'll use my brad nailer again for this one, and then this piece should go up here. Alright, I put this little piece in here, and then I found another little piece, kind of looking like a jigsaw puzzle now. But that's going to go right there. Well, Clyde, that doesn't look too bad, you know that? So now I have to put some pocket holes in this to hold it in place. About like that, I'm guessing. So we'll put a screw in up here. Check the level. Oop, that ain't level. It's going to come down a little bit right here. There you go. See if this still fits now. Isn't that pretty? Alright, so now what I have to do is I have to cut this piece of wallboard out of here. So I need to find the location of this in the shed next door. So what I did was, I don't know if you can see here or not, but in each of the corners I put a wood screw through there. Then I went next door to the shed and I looked, and I saw where those wood screws come out, so now I know where the hole opening is going to be. And it happens that there's a shelf goes right across about here. I have a shelf unit built next door in the shed, so there's a shelf unit right here, but I think that'll be all right. I'll just cut this out, and you know, that can blow over the shelf, that's no problem. So with these screws in the corners, then what I did was I took a utility knife and I just scored down here to cut the house wrap. Now I should be able to just pull that out of there. I'll save that? Yeah, I save everything. So now what I have to do is I have to cut this out. So again, I think I'm going to go to my trim saw, and I'm just going to cut just through the 3/8 plywood right here. Alright, but what I need to do is put some screening in here, because I want to make sure that the critters can't get back in here. That's the shelf right there, but I don't think that's going to impede for what I'm going to have on the shelf. That'll block more of the air than what this shelf support will. Okay, what I did was I bought some 1/4 inch mesh of metal screening. The idea being that I'm going to put that over the opening, and it'll keep the critters out, I hope. What I have is my pattern, and I just have a spacer here. This is about 1.5 inches wide, so I'm going to put that right here, line that up with the edge, line it up with this edge, and then if I line it up with this edge, put a marker tool right here, and then if I cut on these ones, should be alright. Here we go. Okay, before I cut my hands all to pieces, I'm going to put my glove on. Might as well cut this, what do you think, right across? So this is going to go in here, something like that. And my thought is, I'll just fold up the edges, then I can staple it in the hole, put my fan in there. What do you think? Let's go for it. Like that, and like that. Then, if I cut right here, and if I cut right here, then that should fold in there like that. And that'll fold in there like that. And then this will fold up here like this. Now if I get the plywood out, alright, so that screen should fit in the hole and keep the god dang squirrels out of the shop. Alright, now we're going to try and fit this in here. It should fit just as snug as anything. Well, you know what? I'm not disappointed with the way it fits. So now I have my stapler here that shoots 1/4 inch staples. So I thought I'd give you a look from the shed side. There's my shelf unit. And there's where I come through. So the screen fits good and tight on the edges. And then down below, right across there, it looks alright too. So I think that should keep the critters out. For now anyway, I'm just going to plug this in over here. Okay, the vanes are about, I'm going to say, half open. And I think what the problem is, I thought my shop here wasn't airtight. In fact, it turns out it is pretty airtight, because what should happen when I open the door? When I open the door here, watch. They open right up. Close the door, they drop right off. So, and also I can hear down wind and air whistling in around the garage door. I want you to hear this. It is windy out today, but still no. I think the shop was a little more airtight than what I thought, so that's a good thing. So I guess what I'm going to do now is, whenever I run my salamander, I'll crack open the garage door just at the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. Alright, one more thing I need to do is I want to put some screws in here just to secure this in place. Although it's a tight fit in there, I don't want it to fall out on me. Okay, I'm glad now I got my fan in, so now we can start in earnest now with this experiment that we have, where we're going to see about if we can make any kind of improvement in the condensation that forms here in the shop. So also I found out another thing from putting this fan in, that the shop is way more airtight than what I thought it was, so I'm pleased with that. But anyway, we'll see how things go over the winter, so keep watching. Also, I want to thank you all for all the suggestions and tips and hints and ideas that you gave me in the first video I had when I introduced this war on condensation. I got some unbelievably good ideas and suggestions, so thanks a lot for all that. And let me know what you think about this idea. Do you think that's going to be any better, you know, with the fan up off the floor as much as it is, or should it have been at floor level, or maybe it even should have been up at the ceiling? Let me know what you think. Anyways, in the meantime, thanks a lot for tuning in. As always, you're so great to give up some of your time to come and watch Grampie's Workshop. I sure do appreciate it. And you know, with Christmas just passed, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. And with this new year coming on now, we thought that 2021, you know, we were going to pick up and go after COVID and, you know, beat it down finally. But it's still, you know, it's still around, so we have to be careful of that. We all have to work together, and then we can lick it. That's the way to go. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a safe week. We'll talk to you.